Layer cakes took the South by storm shortly after the Civil War, when the first published recipes began appearing in books and newspapers. This caramel cake, with its irresistible combination of tender vanilla cake layers and rich frosting, soon became a Southern favorite. In the bowl of a stand mixer, put 2 sticks of unsalted butter, room temperature butter, look how easily it beats. Add 1 cup of granulated sugar. This is a sweet cake, as you will see. And 2 cups of dark brown sugar. Pack the sugar. And 1. Get that going. And a 2nd cup. There. And let that get nice and creamy. And we're going to add 6 eggs, 1 at a time. And there goes the 6th. Add to this mixture 1 tablespoon of the best vanilla you can find. While this beats, 3 cups cake flour, not the self-rising kind. We're adding our own leavening agents. Half a teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Turn the mixer on low. And we have a cup of sour cream already measured. Alternate the addition of flour and cream. So add every little bit of your sour cream, and then finish up with your flour. So this makes 2 8-inch layers. The pans have been buttered, lined with parchment in the bottom, and then buttered again and floured. Try to divide as evenly as possible. Quickly press the batter with an offset spatula like this. And now we can put these right into a 325-degree oven, preheated until a toothpick comes out clean. That'll take 50 minutes. And I'm baking right in the middle of the oven. And now for the filling that makes this caramel cake a caramel cake. In a small saucepan, I've put 1/2 cup of sugar, and I am heating it over a low flame so that it just starts to get a little bit of an amber color. And in this saucepan, 2 cups of granular sugar, and 1 cup of heavy cream, and 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And you can add the butter here too, and turn your heat on to kind of medium. Oh, look how this sugar is melting. Ah. And what I'm going to do is add this cream mixture to our simple sugar mixture, stirring all the time. Just add this to this. And that is going to be our beautiful caramel mixture. Stir all together. See that lovely caramel color? Get this on medium-high heat, watching so that it does not overboil. The mixture is now at softball stage, 238 degrees. Remove your candy thermometer. This thermometer is going to go down the side of the bowl, and this mixture is going to be poured right into the bowl. What we really want to do is cool this mixture to 200 degrees. That's going to take approximately 20 minutes. At 200 degrees, and use the flat beater, and while beating, add 1 teaspoon of the very best vanilla. It's going to take about 6 minutes to get thickened. And so this looks exactly right. Turn it off and just leave it in this bowl until it really cools. So now for the caramel whipped cream frosting. In a saucepan, add 1/2 cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of water. Add a pinch of salt. Now, over medium-high heat, melt the sugar in that little bit of water and cook until a beautiful amber color is achieved. That'll take a few minutes. Ah, beautiful. What a lovely amber. I'm going to turn the heat off while I add my heavy cream. And just add the cream very slowly. It has a tendency to bubble up. You can see it bubbling up. And once it cools the caramel, stir. So now we have a lovely caramel colored cream. Turn the heat back on and cook until all the caramel is melted into the cream. And now the cream has to be chilled, very cold, before you can whip it. And what I like to do is just cool it right in an ice bath like this. Let it sit, just stirring it occasionally. Now our filling is cool, and we have to cut this into thirds. And once you've apportioned your filling, you can just roll it into each piece into an 8-inch circle. These are actually getting very soft. You could put this in the refrigerator just for a moment to firm up a little bit. But there's one 8-inch, and proceed to get all 3 done. And now the cake itself. As it baked, it kind of went over the edge a little bit. Cut these edges off. They're too crispy. Don't throw them away. Eat the scraps. So that's one layer. And trim the second layer. And you take off this rough top layer, which is almost like a cookie, so dole it out. Now cut this layer into 2 rounds. And it's really best to turn the cake and make sure your knife that's cutting is halfway through the layer. Very nice. And then you can lift this layer to the rack. And now repeat and do the same thing. And now we're ready to apply our caramel filling. Take this over and lay it on. And release the parchment paper. And I would just fold under the edge. And then your next layer. And the last layer of caramel. And the caramel whipped cream is whipped and staying chilled in the refrigerator. Top this with the last layer, ready to frost. So that's the color of the whipped cream. I love the texture, I love the taste. We want to make sure the sides get covered. Take the cream down the sides. This spreads beautifully. And when this is put into the refrigerator, don't fret because it does get a little darker in color. The caramel looks more like caramel. I think that's beautiful. Now just release the papers. And all the mess that's on the paper would have been on the cake stand. And there you have the caramel cake. Must refrigerate it at least 30 minutes before serving, or you can keep it in the refrigerator for up to 2 days. Once you taste this amazing cake, you'll know why it has stood the test of time.